All right, here we go.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the Lab Podcast Series, episode 001.
Hey.
Shh, wait, hold on, man.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm trying to introduce y'all. So listen, I want to thank everybody for coming, for listening. This is definitely a brand new podcast that we're doing right now for the people, for society, for the culture. And I really feel like this is something that we definitely need for Miami society. So before we do start, I do want to go around the room because this is a little bit of a different podcast that I used to be doing. I used to be having one guest, maybe two, but I have three guests right now. Three distinguished guests in my panel. So I would love to go around the room. Ladies first.
Alphabetical.
Please. Listen, so please introduce yourself. Please tell me your craft, a little bit about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's do it.
Okay, well, hello everybody. My name is Allison Burke. I'm a personal trainer here in Brickell, working at Equinox in Brickell Heights. What I love to do is help people become the best versions of themselves, not only just in fitness, but mental health, and teaching them what their strengths are, helping them improve their weaknesses, and kind of like helping them get out their own way. You can find me on Instagram, Allison Burke Fit.
We will definitely tag that. So
Nice.
all right, Miss Sharlia.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Sharlia Lebreton Gulley.
Okay.
Yes. I'm also a personal trainer. I consider myself a holistic certified personal trainer because I focus a lot on wellness. I'm an herbalist. I've been practicing as an herbalist for going on 11 years now. I know, I started really young. Similar to Allison, I like to guide people to being their best selves, starting from the inside and working outwards. I also like to challenge people to break the paradigms of their thinking because I think everything kind of starts with your thoughts. And also I'm a performance artist, a dancer, and, trying to get back into the acting world and film.
There you go. Get your shit off. Get your shit off. No, listen, whatever.
You can follow me on Instagram at Sharlia, SHARL_LIA, and follow my wellness brand, Aynia Wellness.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mr. R.
Not R. Kelly, though. Mr. R, okay?
Clarify.
No, yuck. Not that R.
I know.
But yeah.
He needs some healing.
What's up, guys? My name is Ronald Wayne. I'm a photographer based here in Miami. I'm actually an ex-personal trainer. So I do have a lot of training background, and I use that creative side to dive into the photography and video world. So I'm really excited about the future in 2019. And I'm working on a lot of different projects with e-commerce and stuff like that. So kind of dibbling in different things right now. So sky's the limit, no way but up.
Yes, sir.
Way
Yes, sir.
up.
Shout out.
This is the different podcast. This is the different podcast.
But listen, we
Yeah,
can
you're
still
right.
shout
It's
it
a
out.
mantra.
You know
Yeah,
what
you're
I
right.
mean?
I'm wearing the hat,
No,
man.
Get your
Let's
shit
go.
off. Get your
Give it
shit
up. Yeah.
Okay, so listen, this is pretty much the reason why I brought all three of you guys together, because not only that you guys have different paths, but you guys also have parallels as well too. All three of you guys.
Yeah.
You are a personal trainer. You used to be a personal trainer. So this is pretty much what the lab is all about, that we just bring people together and just talk about just different things while at the same time we have similar traits.
Right.
So with that being said, it was a good segue. I appreciate you indirectly segued into this. 2019. It's been a great year, 2018, but what are you most, going down the room right now, what are you most excited for yourself, for what's happening in the world? What are you most excited for 2019?
Ladies first.
Don't sigh all at once, Geminis.
Twins and twins all together.
Twins, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's a very good question. I have to think about that for give me a second.
I was thinking about that driving over here. And it's funny because I saw a meme that said, what did it say? I can't believe it's 2012 already. And it made me laugh because if you remember, in 2012, people were so concerned that the world was going to end.
Right.
And I remember that was a time for me. I had just finished 2012. I had just finished my last season of collegiate track. I had walked away from Christianity. I had just undergone a lot of transformations. And so when that kind of was in the zeitgeist of like the world's ending, I took it as the world as we know it is ending. in the sense of how we think, what we accept to be normal, how we hide things, that's ending. And I think in the past few years, we've seen so much exposed. We've seen the good and the bad, right? We've seen people break down barriers. We've seen artistry reach new heights. We've seen in our own selves this this movement towards trying to be the best self that we can be and releasing, beliefs and ideas that our parents maybe pushed on us or society was pushing on us. And so I do feel like we're at 2012 in the sense of like the paradigms have ended.
True.
So 2019, I feel I'm most excited to continue to see myself and those around me grow in the way that they're defining for themselves. And I also am excited to see, how to continue becoming my most free self, most unbound self, and how that can help others. Like, I'm really just excited to see the world moving in a direction where we're all reaching for like the light, reaching for, that's what I'm excited for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to go back to you or are we going to go to Mr. Ronald?
I think you kind of like piggybacking off what you just said. Like, I think that in 2018 and the years before, we've just seen so many people being free and really being unafraid to be their true self. And I think that is so amazing that so many people have that confidence. But I'm really excited to see how much more comes out in 2019.
Right.
Because we kind of feel like we've seen it all. We had Obama, Black president. We had Michelle Obama come out with this amazing book this year. And then we have Donald Trump, who's currently the president. And things are changing for America. And I think people are coming out more about their feelings and more about who they are and who they want to be. And I'm just kind of curious to see what else could happen. What's next? And I think for me personally, I think I've been so caught up in like changing my my career in terms of like working at Equinox and being 100% there and like not having a brand of my own. And I think in 2019, I want to see what is my brand going to be and how can I impact the world in a different way outside of my corporate, my corporate position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr.
And I guess that leaves me.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wayne. For a personal level, I'm just excited for 2019 just to do more everything.
Yeah.
More content, more relationships, good, healthy relationships.
Right.
Key.
And it's really the best time to be alive, like when you really think about it, like 10, 15 years ago, even further back, like there was no build your brand, be an entrepreneur, so like it's just like there's so many platforms and there's so many opportunities. It's like I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a lot
simple, not easy, right?
It's simple.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot easier for us. Like our parents had to go to school. There was no, you know what I mean? So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to do more podcasts.
Yes, true.
I hope so.
This is my second one,
True,
and they say I have a good voice, so we'll let the audience.
I'm trying to tell you,
Very
man.
white.
You just
You
listen
said
to me,
earlier,
man.
very white,
What do you think, guys?
Yes, sir.
What do you
Yes,
think?
sir.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you done? Oh, okay. So me, there's actually a few things I'm actually really excited for 2019. I think for the universe and society, for me I feel like this is the year we're going into vulnerability and transparency.
Absolutely.
Right. I feel like before where people just like try to just hide things from themselves and try to basically just worry about themselves basically like, oh no, I have all this information. And maybe that's not just information, but it's also just sharing your own life as well too. We realize the multi social platforms that the more that you actually do share with your life, the more people connect with you.
Right.
Absolutely. And I think that just not only is great for your business, but it's also great for your personal life as well too. And I feel like personal can definitely connect to business. One of the I don't know his name, but one of the 76ers owners, I went to this sport business conference and about a few months ago, and the saying goes is this: if you reach for somebody's wallet, they'll grab their crotch, but if you reach for somebody's heart, they'll give you their wallet.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So I think that is basically just the whole mantra of 2019. Just to share content as much as possible. And always, and also another thing too is just overall quality too.
Right.
Because everybody has something to bring to the table. Also too, I think, which I don't want to get into this now because it's going to be a later topic, but I'm going to touch upon this a little bit. Just basically really combining the same frequencies as energies with people to do great things on this earth. And I think that also ties to how much of value you can put into, because in 2018 for me, I definitely realized that I have to protect my energy from certain people, from certain things. And that just basically, in the long run, basically just you're able to give a more quality energy and more, impact to others.
Yeah, when your energy isn't being diluted.
Yes.
And manipulated.
Yeah,
and
basically.
stolen.
And also too, here's
Yeah.
another thing too, is like, just to make sure that, you're also willing to accept other people's energies as well too. Like, don't go into shit where like, oh, I'm not fucking with everybody, this and that, like leave me alone. Like, no, like
Yeah.
be vulnerable, be
Right.
transparent, and just be okay with, sharing other people's values, other people's energies to
Yeah.
see where you guys go.
Right.
So
Yeah, you touched on. So I actually was having a conversation with my client this morning, and we're starting her cleanse. She's preparing for the new year and preparing for a baby. Really,
Nice.
Right? I'm
Very
so
nice.
excited for her. She's also, or I've quit my doctoral program, but she's a doctoral student, and she has a lot going on basically. And we are having a conversation about solitude versus constantly feeling the need to put yourself out there. Even with vulnerability and being authentic, we also should keep in mind that sometimes we have to have moments of solitude. And in that, it doesn't mean that you have to pull away from everybody. It's like what you said, protecting your energy and also finding ways to remain, invested in yourself and creating solitary moments
Right.
while still being present for other people. And that was something that I really took to heart, because when I need time to recharge, I disappear off the face of like the earth. You know
we
what
know.
I mean?
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
I disappear.
Trust me.
I disappear.
Yes.
And she was saying to me, like, you have to learn to not do that, because myself included, like I count on you. Like, people count on you.
Yeah.
And they want to be there for you and show up for you and like support you. But you have to figure out a way to, protect yourself
And
while
balance.
also still. Yeah. And so 2019, I'm definitely learning that. That's why I'm going to Jacksonville to go recharge the weekend before
There you
we
go.
start.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
It's always good to definitely recharge as much as possible. So
I want to touch on that as
Go
well.
ahead, go
also.
ahead. Absolutely.
I feel like that's huge, because I'll beat myself up all the time. I feel like I still need to work on that, because especially like with social media, work, don't sleep. I've done studies where you actually perform better when you take a nap.
When
It's
you're
like-
rested?
When you're
Yeah.
rested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Quality.
So
Yeah, right.
it's huge. You have to
Yeah.
make time for regular stuff,
Yeah.
like going to the movies. I think I've been to the movies like twice this year.
Did anybody watch Bird Box?
Yes.
I've been
That
hearing
was
about
so
Bird Box.
good. Okay, it was so good.
All right,
So-
first of all, I am not an advocate when it comes to scary shit. That's number one.
Oh, it's scary.
Yeah.
Thriller.
Well,
It's
I
thriller.
He's not
would-
watching it.
It's
I
mentally
do-
intriguing.
But you know what's
I do
dope?
like to sleep. Here's the thing.
But you know what's
Oh,
dope?
boy.
Because now I just thought about something. Okay, a few of us have watched Bird Box, and we're talking about social media, and we're talking about protecting your energy, blah, 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 right? Okay, so in Bird Box, the whole thing was, if you look out into whatever was going on, you see your worst fear manifested. And it's like, think about it. We're constantly on social media.
Yeah.
We're constantly feeding ourselves stimulus through our ears, through our eyes,
Dopamine.
whatever. If you're right, constantly getting shots of dopamine, and
Right.
it's coming from such a superficial, stimulus, that if we're not protecting, we can easily, in the same way that the sky's the limit for creating good and manifesting everything that you want. If we're not careful, we can also do the opposite, do the reverse, and manifest our worst nightmare by not paying attention to ourselves, by not giving ourselves the rest and recovery,
Yep.
by not staying authentic and transparent, but also, feeding the gardens of our own hearts.
Okay.
So I think
Wow.
That's deep.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
deep.
Well,
That's deep. I like that. But it's true though. That's very
Still
true.
not watching it, but
No, watch it. Watch it.
I think these movies are really good, and it just gives you a basis of like what's actually happening.
Absolutely.
Like the
Yeah.
people that are making these
Absolutely.
movies,
Yeah.
they know what's going on.
You know
like,
what I mean? Ever since I became a sociologist, that was my first 2 degrees, my master's, my bachelor's. I can't watch the movies the same, because I know that everything's connected and low-key conspiracy theorist. But I mean,
Right.
when stuff
I am a
happens,
high-key conspiracy theorist.
okay, cool. Because when stuff happens, it's real. I'm like, see, I saw this. I knew
Yeah,
it.
you remember the conversation that we had
I
at
do,
Toasted
I do.
Bakery?
I do.
Just chopping it up.
I do.
You know?
she got close. I did.
All right, so
do.
let's move along here.
All right.
Now, so here's another question real quick. Let's talk about things that we have to leave in 2018,
Yeah.
going into 2019.
Yeah.
Speak about it. Go ahead, girl.
I think for me, it's like the perception of like your image and what you should look like, and your accomplishments that you should have at a certain age. And I think for me, especially for us, being in this profession as a personal trainer, the perception of a female personal trainer from Instagram's perspective is slim waist, big butt.
Yeah, just showing off their friggin' ass, which is clearly not it's not the case.
Right.
It's not the image. And I think for me, especially, I've been a personal trainer for about 10 years now, you know, when you feel like you're competing with the world, essentially, you almost wonder, is my knowledge even important anymore? And does anyone even care about the years I've spent getting educated and being able to create programs that are authentic to each and individual client?
I'm so sorry. I need to talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
How do you ladies feel about this, by the way, when it comes to that? What you just said.
It's
especially
challenging.
living in the city of Miami where everything is materialistic. And I know we could probably talk about this for the next hour, but
for sure
try to just, outline it.
just say it.
Yeah, just outline it.
I would say before like my present mindset, it was very challenging because I would be like, I think you know best. Like this whole year, I spent my time just in a box, like focusing on Equinox and really not trying to build a brand because I felt like it was impossible. I was like, I'm not going to be naked on Instagram. I'm not going to be showing my butt. I mean, I have a very authentic, large ass. Can I say that?
You out here, girl.
First of all,
Just did.
Can I say that?
first of all, I've been cursing for the past 13 hours.
But that's what the
worried
people
about ass.
think. Anyway, like I have natural double Ds. I have a natural huge butt. So if I wanted to get attention in that way, very, very easy and easily accessible without any cost to me, right? But I feel like my brand is not that. I don't want to be half naked. I don't want to have to show my body so that people can get to know my mind, because I feel like where that's gone. No one really cares about what I know anymore. And what I realize is that there is a niche of women that don't want you to be naked, and they do want to know what you have to offer. And I think when I got over that part and I started being my authentic self, similar to what you said, being vulnerable, posting my curvy self in my bikini, there's so many women that just came out of the woodwork. They're like, oh my God, natural bodies matter. And that is what I want to see. And that's what motivates me, because I know that I can get to that next level versus being an artificial image of what fitness is.
True.
And I think that for years I did bikini competitions. I was playing tennis for like a very long time. I felt like I was chasing this image of myself that just wasn't realistic to me. I've never been this girl that was skinny. I naturally walk around at 185. And I just feel like I should be my authentic self, the best version of myself, and inspire those who look like me. And that's it. And I think that, I don't know for you, but chasing the image that have been perpetuated out there is not realistic for everyone. And I can show what's realistic and what's possible.
Agreed. I mean, being a female personal trainer in this industry, in this city, coming from LA and then into Miami, I thought it couldn't get any worse than LA. But coming to Miami, I was like, yo, it is a challenge. It used to, for me, it was challenging because it was still triggering a deep rooted sense of lack, or this chasing of perfection. I grew up as a gymnast. I ran track in college, and I always struggled with trying to have the perfect body. Because when I was a child, I was a gymnast. I was one of 2 black girls in my academy. And my coaches used to tell me, tuck in your butt, tuck in your butt. And when I did bodybuilding bikini, they said, you're great, but your butt is too big. So now we're here where the ass is like, everybody wants the ass. And I have all of this trauma where I'm like, yo, I used to try and starve myself to not have an ass. Like for real, running 3 hours to not have an ass.
To get rid of it.
To now it's like what people are desiring, paying for. And now as a personal trainer, asking me to create for them. It was very traumatic for me for a while. So that's something that, one, I'm touching on 2 things. That was a challenge it is a challenge as a personal trainer. And also it's something that I'm leaving behind in 2018. But I think I'm in the same place where now I'm like, you know what? This is my natural body. And more so than having or creating this idealistic body image that is ridiculous to try and maintain without surgery or without, additional cost. This is me, and I want to be healthy, and I want to be strong, and I want to be feminine in how I define femininity. And there are people that that care about it, you know? So I'm releasing that, and I'm also embracing that my body looks the way it looks. Not to say that I'm just going to accept it. Like, you know, I can always be stronger. I can always be more lean. I can always be faster, because my thing is performance.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So I think it's a challenge, but at the same time, when my mindset has begun to change, when I stopped focusing on external, what's out there and who I'm competing with, and started looking at myself and embracing and valuing that, it became easier.
Okay.
You know?
What I like about what you said was that our story can be impactful, really, because it's going to inspire someone else to look at their own story. Because everyone has their own story, and I think that like once we can inspire people by telling our own story, then they can be inspired by themselves, and they can understand like and embrace themselves. And that's really what I want to focus on going into 2019 is to use my own story, my own experiences with food and exercise and everything, and tell people, listen, you can be your authentic self, and you're just as great as anybody else, and teach them, hey, these are the tools that might be helpful for you to kind of gather that, you know, kind of get to where you're trying to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ronald?
To touch on what you guys have said, I completely agree with you guys. And for me personally, I'm gonna leave the opinions of others and my insecurities behind. And I feel like it's almost like a drug addict admitting that he's on drugs. That's the first thing, you know. So like, I have so much passion in my craft, you know, I have a good voice, I'm very knowledgeable, I know all these things, and I need to show that with the world. I need to teach people, you know, and I feel like everyone's financial freedom is when you start, you know, sharing your story, you know what I mean, and start, you know, doing vlogs and podcasts and stuff like that. So for me, you know, trying to find the perfect post and the color scheme and stuff like that, you know, it gotta go. You know, content's king. Content's king. You just gotta keep posting. You know, so not the color's not matching or the time of the day and stuff like that. Like 2019, I'm posting at 2:00 in the morning because it's 5:00 somewhere else. You know? So like, you know, so just that. That's pretty much what I'll be leaving behind.
Man, I say for me, I am pretty much going to leave behind the overall overthinking of everything that I do in my life. I feel like I am definitely a prisoner of my own mind at times. And it's just, it gets to the point where I'm like, no, I got to do this right. No, I got to do this right. I got to do that right. Like, especially like in the whole photography realm, like you already know what time it is. Right. Like, and it's like you're just freaking going around in circles for 5 hours and you're not doing shit.
It's like crippling and
like for real.
Yeah.
Like for real. So that's pretty much what I am going to, you know, to leave in 2018. Like, you know, just less saying, more doing too.
Say less.
You know, just say less pretty much. It's kind of like a little bit of a contradiction too, because it's like you're posting all this content, doing what you're doing at freaking Instagram, whatever, trying to put yourself out there. But it's like, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's just more quality over quantity. And especially with the quality that I have, frequency. How many times I can definitely hit that iron when it's freaking hot. Like, that's like one of my favorite sayings, like, and just trying to just go with the punches basically. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to just, you know, like, vulnerability, like I said, damn, I can't even freaking talk. I have a freaking podcast. But just vulnerability. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Thank you. So like, so it's just like, you know, just putting yourself out there, basically. All right, so
getting away from analysis paralysis.
Yes, queen. Say it.
There it is.